Hello students, today we're going to be working on lesson 13, displaying and sharing data. The skills are creating a chart using the chart wizard, formatting a chart, saving a database object, and printing a datasheet object. Alright, so we're going to be creating a chart. So first it tells us to go to your data files, and we're going to open up Blue Yonder Airlines. I'm going to reposition my stuff here. Alright. Then it tells me to save the document as, so I'll go to Save As, go to Info Tech, Access, Lesson 13, Blue Yonder Airlines -Final. We'll hit Save, and it tells us to double click on Income and Expenses Report in the navigation pane to open it. It says to change to Design View, Step 3, Step 4. It says expand the footer section on the Report Design Tools tab in the Controls group. So it wants us to expand the footer section. Make sure that it's large enough here. Let's see, maybe make it just a little bit bigger. Okay. Then it says in the Controls group, we're going to click on Chart, which is right here. Okay, and the pointer changes to a plus sign with a chart icon. It says to click in the upper left corner of the page footer section and hold down the mouse and drag to the lower right, creating a rectangular placeholder. Okay, so I just drew a box here. It says release the mouse button. The first chart wizard dialog box appears, asking you which table or query you'd like to use to create your chart. Okay, we are going to select Income and Expenses Summary, and then we will click Next. It tells us to click the double arrow to add all of the fields, and we're going to click Next. The third chart option lets us pick the type of chart we would like, and we're going to choose the 3D column chart, which is the second one in the first row. Alright, similar to figure 13-2, it tells us to click Next. The fourth chart wizard dialog box appears, and we're going to click and drag the Income field button to the upper left of the chart and drop on the Sum of Expenses data list. So click on the Income, and we're going to drag it and drop it on Sum of Expenses. Okay, it says click the preview. Let's see. Looks like we have to hit Next. Oh, actually, click on Preview Chart right here. Okay, the sample preview dialog box appears, displaying the sample of your chart. Okay, we're going to click Close. Then we're going to click Next. The fifth chart box wizard appears. In the down arrow in the report fields, we're going to choose No Fields. Since you don't want to display a chart for each record. And we're going to click the down arrow and choose No Fields. Again, since you don't want to choose a chart for the records for the data source. So no field should be selected. We're going to hit Next. And we're going to type in 2008-2017 Income and expenses. Alright, it says click the yes, display a legend. Should be selected. If not, select it and then click finish. It says access inserts your chart. Notice that design view displays a sample chart and not the actual data from your chart. Click the chart to select it, and on the report design tools design tab we're going to click tools group, we're going to click property sheet. It says to click the data tab, and we're going to click the down arrow at the end where it says enable, and we're going to choose yes. This enables the chart to accurately display the associated table data. It tells us to close the property sheet, and then we're going to change to report view. Okay, if your chart is not displaying correctly, for example, the text looks stretched, you need to increase or decrease the width and height of the placeholder in design view. So mine kind of does look a little stretched. Let me see. So we need to click the resize handles in the center of the vertical borders and drag to increase or decrease the size until the text looks right. So let's go back to design view. Okay, we may need to maybe make this a little bit longer. There we go, that looks better. Let's go to report view. That looks good. Okay, it says on the home tab in the records group, we're going to click the refresh all button to ensure the chart displays the latest table. Scroll to the bottom of the report to view your chart, which should look similar to figure 13-4. It says to save the report. Okay. It says when you try to save the report, you may see a dialog box that says the object is locked. Any changes will be discarded when the form closes. Click OK whenever you see this throughout this part of this lesson. Okay, next it says change chart options. We're still using this income and expenses report, but it tells us to change to design view, and then it tells us to double click the chart. Okay, the Microsoft Graph software launch is displaying the chart in a view similar to the design view shown in figure 13-5. It says to click chart on the menu bar. Okay, so make sure that you are clicked on the chart. So step 3 says to click chart on the menu bar. We're going to click on the chart right here and choose chart options. Okay, the chart options dialog box appears, and it tells us to click the axis tab to display the options, and we're going to click the value Z axis to remove the check mark. Notice that the values on the Z axis are removed. It tells us to click the Z axis again to insert a check mark. Okay, and then it tells us to click on the grid lines tab to display the options. Then it tells us to select major grid lines checkbox in the x-axis section. Notice that the grid lines are added to the preview as shown in figure 13-7. Tells us to click the legend tab to display it, and we're going to click the check Show Legend box again to insert the check mark. The legend is displayed in the preview. Then we're going to click Bottom option to move the legend to the bottom of the chart. Okay, next click on Data Labels tab. And it says to click the Value checkbox. Again, notice that the values are added to the columns in the chart. Okay, we're going to click the Value checkbox to remove the check marks. And then click on Data Table to display the options. And we're going to click Show Data Table. Notice that the data sheet is added to the bottom of the chart. Click the Show Data Table again to remove the check mark, and then we'll click OK. It says click the File menu, and we're going to click Save. The Microsoft Graph software closes, and the report is changed back to Design View. It says to pause, leave the report open to use in the next exercise. Take note, Microsoft Graph has its own help system. To access it, double-click a chart to launch Microsoft Graph and choose Microsoft Graph Help from the Help menu, or press F1. So in Design View, we're going to double-click the chart to open Microsoft Graph. Okay, it says to click the chart area, the white background of the chart to select it. So you want to click maybe somewhere over here to select it. This time we're going to click the Format menu, and we're going to check Selected. Let's see. So click around, make sure that it says chart area up here in the drop down list. So you have to be kind of careful about where you select. So I guess if I click up here, it shows chart area. Alright, so once your chart area is selected and it says chart area right here, we're going to click on Format tab, and we're going to click Select Chart Area. Format Chart Area dialog box appears, and it says to click on the Fill Effects button. The Fill Effects dialog box appears, and we're going to choose the horizontal option in the Shading Styles section, and then we'll click OK. It says to click OK in the Format Chart Area dialog box. Notice the shading style of the chart background changes to your selection, so we have kind of this gradient fill. We're going to right click any of the purple data series columns. Right click to select them. Let's try that again. Right click. Notice that the series sum of income is displayed in the chart objects list box. Ours doesn't really say that. Let's see. Maybe it wants us to do this one. No. Okay, so even though ours does not say sum of income, or it's not really displayed, we're going to go ahead and right click and choose Format Data Series. And we're going to select the green color in the second row, fourth from the left. Okay, and then it says to click OK. Now we're going to right click the gray grid background of the chart called the chart walls. So right here, we want it to say, we're going to click on this gray area, change it to say walls, and it tells us to click the format. So we'll right click and we'll click on Format Walls. And where it says Fill Effects, we're going to click the From Center button. And so once you click From Center, we'll click OK. And it tells us to click OK. And then it says to right click the legend and choose Format Legend. The Format Legend dialog box appears. We're going to click the Font tab. The Font tab of the dialog box appears. We're going to select 12 in the font size. Okay. Notice the font size of the legend text has increased. Ours was already set to 12, or mine was at least. It says to right click on the left axis. Well, let's see, let's click OK. Notice the font size increase. Then it says right click on the left axis. That shows the number of dollars. And we're going to choose Format Axis. Then it says to click the number button, and we're going to choose Currency from the category, and we'll click OK. Then we'll click the File menu, and we'll click Save. Okay, and it says Change to Report View. Okay, and so yours should look similar to this right here, and we will save the report. Okay, we'll click OK if that box pops up. We're still using the income and expense report. It tells us to double click the income and expense table if you need to open it. So open up the income and expense table. In the first row, in the income column, we're going to select the data. In the first row, in the income column, we're going to select the data and type 9004523. Press Enter. And then we're going to save and close the table. Then it tells us to click the Income and Expense Report tab. Notice that the numbers in the report data and the numbers in the chart have not changed. On the Home tab in the Records group, we're going to click the Refresh All button. Okay, the data in the report and in the chart have been updated. It says to save the report. Next, we're going to change chart types. Still using the income and expense report. It says change to design view. And double click the chart to open up Microsoft Graph. Click the By Row button on the toolbar. Which is right here. The chart is changed to show all expenses together and all income together, as shown in figure 13-10. Then we're going to click by column on the toolbar, and it changes back to the original chart type. It says to click the chart type drop down arrow. Okay, and we're going to choose let's see. Oh, we need to choose right here. Let's see. Chart type drop down arrow. We're going to choose 3D area chart, which would be this one right here. The chart changes to an area chart. It says click the chart menu. And click chart type. Okay. Chart menu. Okay, and then click chart type. And this time we're going to, on the standard types tab, click pi. And then in the chart subtype section, we're going to click pi with 3D visual effect. Pi with 3D is this one right here, the second icon in the first row. It says to click and hold the press and hold to view button to see a preview of the chart. And we'll click the Custom Types tab. Okay, and we'll click the colored lines in the chart type list, and we'll click OK. Click the File menu and then click Save. It says your screen should resemble figure 13-2 or 12. Okay, change to report view, which ours does look like that now, and then it tells us to save and close the report. So save, click OK, and we'll close the report. Alright, next it says to save a database object as another file type. So we're going to double click the income and summary table in the navigation pane, then click the File tab, and we're going to choose Save As. To display the Save As menu, and click Save As Object Type. Save Object As. Notice the Save Object As option is already highlighted in the current database object category. Click the Save As button. And we're going to type summary query in the save box. And then click the down arrow, and we're going to change it to query. And then click OK. The table object is saved as a query object type, and the new summary query appears in the data sheet. It says to close summary query, and then we'll click the File tab, click Save As, click Save Object As, click the Save As box. We're going to type summary report, click the down arrow and change it to report, and then click OK. And it's made a summary report for us. It tells us to click Save to save the report, pause, leave the report open to use in the next exercise. Next, we're going to be print a database object. So it says to click the File tab, and then click the Print tab. The tab menu displays, tells for us to click Print. Okay, and then click Properties. The Properties dialog box differs depending on the type of printer you have. We're going to hit Cancel. Okay, and then hit the Setup button. Page Setup dialog box opens and gives you options for printing with margins. It tells us to hit the Cancel. And then it says in the Copies section to click the up arrow to change it to 2 copies. We're not going to hit OK. Instead, we're going to hit Cancel. And then it says to close the report and close the table. And then we can exit access. You're done with lesson 13.